Evening, everyone. It's Sunday night at around 7:20. I waited until I could see what some of the futures were doing, but this is your gold update for Sunday night, 8/1 for tomorrow's market letter. And it is video number 876. So here we go. Gold is doing very little of anything. Uh, it had an inside day on Friday after the $31 up day on Thursday. And we closed, as I said, down about 1860 yesterday, Friday. And tonight we are basically unchanged, down 90 cents on an $1,800 commodity is really not much to discuss. What I'm looking at here, though, is the topping action from the break to the downside, this little top here, followed by Thursday. Now, I need to see a move back up above that 1837 and a half number. And if we see that, then we'll have a similar situation that we had here when we broke down and consolidated across, and then we consolidated above that break. If we can consolidate above this area that we spent the last week or 6 or 7 days above, then I think we test this area up here, 1862 to 1870. I think that if we get some momentum there, we could actually test closer to 1900. But I'm pretty much satisfied, and while we're down, as I said, now we're down 60 cents, it's really not much of a change. And you also have to remember that these markets tend to be very thin in the evenings. So let's take a look around. We have the oil, which was up tremendously again last week, up about 2.5%, a little over 2.5%, down 13 cents, really not much of anything. The ones that amazed me last week were actually the heating oil, which has basically no use this time of the year except for stocking up for those who deliver it. Here in the Northeast, we use a lot of heating oil, and gasoline, which I also noted in my comment that for the crude oil, that the products were higher, and it doesn't surprise me with the gas, only because there are a lot of people driving for reasonably local vacations this year. That gas was down pretty hard on Friday. Just to give you a little look-see here, we were down 14 and a half cents. That's a pretty hefty move, even from $4. Most of the ranges throughout here are, 6 or 7 or 8 cents. Down 14 is a pretty big chunk with a range of 20 cents. What also kind of got to me a little bit here is that we had a blow off high, we had a break, and then we got back to essentially what is a double top. This is 409.70, this is 409.40. That's close enough for government work. And the fact that we broke down was concerning. Now, doesn't concern me terribly unless we close below this 381, 382 area. And really, I don't expect that to be an issue. The rest of the futures markets are, take a look. We have the S&P up 17 and a quarter, NASDAQ up 51, Dow up 124, Russell up $12. So, these are pretty nice moves for Sunday night. The question is, how do they relate to fair value from Friday? So we'll have a better look at that first thing in the morning. The dollar is slightly lower, not really much, 0.6%. And Bitcoin is up 475 on a percentage basis. The outperformer is Ethereum. I'm going to show you this chart so you can see what I'm talking about. Bitcoin is up 1.19%. And frankly, it looks like it's got a running correction here that could take off and take us right back to that 45,500. But you notice that we had a blow off high, a lower high, and a series of highs in the general same area. But let's take a look at the Ethereum. Because I think that you'll see that there's a difference there that was similar to what we had in gold and silver. Silver never really had the kind of downtrend that the gold had. And again, um, we had a blow off high in here in Bitcoin. Not so. Ethereum ran up and then came down. And while it has this area here and a slightly lower high here, it does look like it's made a nice little double bottom here. W, down, up, down, up. Same situation, but Ethereum is where Bitcoin was up 1.19. Ethereum is up 9.5%. So, I think that the platform is more usable. It's open source. It's used by the builders of all of those non fungible tokens, the NFT market. And so I have liquidated our GBTC. I have not added to Ethereum, but we are in Ethereum instead of Bitcoin. All right, everyone, have a good evening. I'll be back first thing in the morning with your pre-morning comment. And as I remind you on almost every video, if you like the work, hit that subscribe